135 favorite. This game will actually be on Apple TV Plus tonight. Stephen Cole will be going for the Paz, while Ryan Nelson will go for the Diamondbacks. And in the NBA Finals, Game 4 be in Indiana. Indiana looking to go up 3-1 on the season, or on the series in the final. And that game will go on at 5:30. Oklahoma City was started as a 6-point favorite and has now been bet down to 5.5. On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private. So things like those selfies from last weekend's party stay between you and your bestie, because on WhatsApp, your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even them. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone.
23 years ago today, a man was brought forth in the California desert. That man now sits behind a microphone with intelligence,
very smart,
insight, and an ability to predict the future. Man, I wish he was here.
Witt takes advantage of this, starts the series off right, 1.5 total bases, more than for Bobby Witt Jr.
That's not true!
This actually totally sucks.
Well, anyway, today we celebrate Sammy's birthday.
It's your birthday.
As he heads off to Vegas.
Not a worry, not a care.
Plus, the roast of Sammy Long is coming up. Let's get into a special edition of the Fletch Zone.
It's San Diego Sports 760. It is hour number 1. Good thing Big Voice Guy's here, because I completely forgot it's Sammy's birthday. 23 years old today, Sammy. Congratulations. How you feeling?
Thank you. Feeling good. Feeling excited for the weekend. Our very own Ben Fletcher bought me a very nice bottle of mezcal. So Thank you for that.
I literally searched into Reddit, what's the best bottle of mezcal? And that was what popped up. So hopefully it tastes good. I'm not a huge mezcal guy. I'll be completely honest.
Any mezcal will taste perfect. So thank you very much.
It is San Diego Sports 760. We are already being joined by plenty of guests. Everyone, come on in, gather around. Let's go. Let's make it a big thing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sammy. Happy birthday to you.
The only way to officially kick things off on Sammy's 23rd birthday. Sammy, turn up all the mics in here.
What a celebration.
You got all the mics on.
I'm so glad to be involved. Look at his hair. It's teased and feathered. Holy gosh. And he's been putting in sun in.
I just saw cake and I followed it.
Sammy blew out the candle.
What'd you wish for?
Huh?
I
can't tell you that, otherwise it doesn't come true.
Well, Sammy's heading to Vegas tonight, actually. He's on a bum ankle.
Hold on. Sammy, you're headed to Vegas? I thought you were turning 19.
You thought I was turning 19?
Yeah.
No, we're going tonight.
And with Cat Fisher, the roast of Sammy Long has officially begun.
Oh, okay.
Were you 23?
23, yeah.
So young. So, dude, how's your Pokemon collection going?
It's fantastic.
Honestly, Sammy, have you caught them all? I mean, it's so crazy. Hey, when you and your buddies are playing games like Leapfrog or Freeze Tag or TV Tag, do you play like past your bedtime, like 9 or 10?
TV Tag needs to be a game, actually.
TV Tag would be awesome.
Actually, we should probably create a league.
What was that?
Do you own the Switch too?
You know what's so funny?
His parents don't let him play violent video games.
Santa's getting one for Christmas. Okay.
What, you already know? You've already asked Santa?
we put an asking to the big guy.
Wow.
All right. If you were curious, Big Rich TD and Fletch is now taking over the San Diego Sports 760 studios.
No.
Back in our former home, wishing our very own Sammy Long a happy birthday. And today on the show, it is the roast of Sammy Long. So 70470, start your message with team. Get those texts in all show long. He's 23 years old. He's blonde. He's very, very handsome. Does kind of look like a mix of Stuart Little, or the kid in Stuart Little.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
I will never unsee it now.
With, I believe his name was Finch from that Atlantis movie. You guys remember that guy? Atlantis, the glasses wearing explorer,
the Disney movie.
Yeah.
I have Stuart Little was said yesterday on the air, and I have gotten more texts about that than anything we've ever done on this show.
You are the Stuart Little kid.
All grown up.
Wait, who was that? Wasn't that
Sammy
the dude
Long
from were you also in the Tom Cruise movie with the head kid? What was that movie called?
Jerry
Maguire. Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
You were Jerry Maguire kid.
Jerry Maguire kid.
I'll be the Jerry Maguire kid.
Wait, what
That was the kid who came out in 1996.
Did he,
human head weighs 8 pounds.
Oh, that's exactly right. Did you know the human head weighs? I did not know that. I did not. Actually, Sammy.
You had me in hello.
That was part of the same scene. By the way, great scene. Was it tough working with Tom Cruise?
He was a real ass. I mean,
God.
no, we love TC.
You don't say that about Tom Cruise.
No.
He's a national treasure.
You know what?
here
I
in
will
San
say
Diego.
that nobody risks their life more to entertain us than Tom Cruise.
That is
I
true.
mean,
That
yes.
is true.
If you think about a person who is just, I mean, part of the stunts that he did for not this most recent Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, but the one before it, where he's literally hanging on to the side of a jet.
Well, did you see the one he did in this one?
He was hanging off of a biplane, right?
Yeah. He was like standing and running on it.
I don't like.
Okay,
I mean,
this is insane.
but think about like if you're a studio who's greenlighting a Tom Cruise movie and he's like, no, I want to run on the wings of a biplane. It's like, well, Tom, if you die, we don't have a movie, so like
Rich,
we could throw a couple.
They had
stuntmen
things
at
in
this.
your NFL contract that you couldn't do certain activities, right?
Oh yeah, dude, yeah. It was
What were you not allowed to do, Rich?
specifically written into contracts. Mine, I don't think they were worried. Like they were like, we don't look at them and see like a basketball player. But certain guys had like clauses where they weren't allowed to play pickup basketball. If they got injured playing basketball, it could void their contract.
They probably should have put "Don't play football" on yours. That's where you got hurt the most.
Yeah, I got hurt on the job a lot. Also, certain guys who owned motorcycles and they knew they rode. Like if they signed a big contract, they'd be like, you got to sell your motorcycle.
You weren't even allowed to keep it. They had to sell it.
Like they had to know that you didn't even own
have access to
a
it.
dirt bike, a motorcycle, any
Wow.
two-wheeled vehicle. Yeah. So, I mean, look, I was no Tom Cruise.
I think you're
but,
Tom Cruise.
You know,
brother.
I really laid it on the
He
line,
looks
guys.
like Tom Cruise.
I mean, look at this shirt he's got on. The Rad Dad.
He is a rad
That
dad.
is a rad dad.
Hey,
tank
listen,
top.
don't try
He's
to
showing off the gun.
Hold on. Have we somehow made Sammy's
roast.
birthday show about Big Rich?
You know what, Sammy? If you could step out.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Give us a minute. Hey, could you cut the cake for us? So, anyways, no, like honestly, let me ask you. Like when you are 21, what's the first drink you're gonna have?
I'm gonna have
A Bartles and James.
since I've never had alcohol before.
Yeah.
What should I have from all you four?
Ooh, Boone's Farms.
Nah, he's a Cosmo guy.
If I were to guess, I would say a daiquiri. Like
It's a
you would just-
classy drink at a bar.
Ooh,
A
daiquiri
Cosmo.
is good. A daiquiri is good. It's sweet.
Girls love a guy orders a
Cold.
Cosmo.
Well, and Sammy, you can get daiquiris virgin super easy, so that'll be nice for you.
Actually, you know what? That was his high school nickname, Daiquiri Virgin.
Daiquiri Virgin.
Yeah.
Daiquiri
Just
Virgin
loves you
Long.
in high school.
Just like that. Hey, by the way, actually, it's kind of we're celebrating also his high school graduation.
Did you
which is-
Congratulations.
Did you walk last night? It's incredible.
Pull that
What's the new things that you can do when you turn 23? I know you can't rent a car till you're 25, right? Still can't. do
Yeah.
that.
23 is a
I've-
dumb birthday.
I've
Yeah.
always had a problem that you can go to war at 18, but you can't buy a six pack.
You've had this
Oh.
problem?
I
You're
have
21
not
now. You don't
had
have a
this
problem anymore.
Yeah.
Which wars did you fight?
All right, so you guys don't know this yet, but Sammy, this was probably a week and a half ago. Sammy comes on and he talks about him going to Vegas this weekend, which he's going tonight. And I said, well, what are you going to Vegas for? What's the big occasion? He's like, it's my birthday, but we're not going because of my birthday. So now I'm convinced that he has all his friends from high school and college, that he has planned this Vegas trip for his birthday and is too shy to admit that it's for his birthday.
Wait,
It's
do they
for your
not know?
birthday.
Your lifelong friends don't know.
No.
He's he says it's not for his birthday. It's just a Vegas trip that happens to be on his
There's a
birthday.
bunch of people going, and they're actually listening. 'Cause they're going on the airport right now.
Okay.
There's a bunch of people. There's someone who's it's their 21st birthday. It's my buddy's cousin. But then I got my friends because I just wanted an excuse to go to Vegas. So I was like, we're going to go to Vegas. So there's like 30 people I know going to this thing.
That
But
is so
but like
23 of you.
but like
It's only
so
a big
far
Vegas
this-
trip when you're in your early 20s.
Yeah, so far this sounds awful.
Yeah. Like you sound like a guy trying to explain how he ended up at the strip club to his wife. Like, no, it wasn't. We didn't want to go to the strip club. Like,
we were
it
dragged
was just
there.
like- It was Frank's birthday,
I'm pretty
and
sure-
also his buddy Alfred's bachelor party, and
And also they have good steak, we heard.
Yeah, all this
we were
glitter,
there for the shrimp cocktail.
all this glitter on me came from the card making factory that we visited.
No, I don't smell like Dracar Noir. Here, text line real quick before we get you guys out of here. 619, how does Tatis's struggles affect the legacy of LeBron? That's
of
a
course.
good question.
That's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
on people's minds.
Different 619 number. Sammy Bean 23. just like ruined my weekend. LOL. My God. Enjoy every moment, man, and don't wreck the other ankle. Much love from Bryson.
Bryson.
Nice.
Shout out to Quack.
You know what? I didn't actually hear how you hurt the ankle.
I was
Acorns.
scoring. No.
They'll get
See,
you.
he was Acorn.
He
I
was-
was
yeah,
I
fine.
was tearing it up on the men's league basketball court.
Tearing it up.
Tearing it up. That's right, Kat. Thank you. And we had an
Describe men's.
unfortunate.
Yeah, what
Were
does
they
that
your-
word?
were they
You know,
your
that
age?
word means a lot of different things these days. So we just want to hear what it means to you. Is all.
And the 858 number has a over-under for the whole group here. Over-under 3.5 numbers that Sammy gets this
3.5.
weekend in Vegas.
Whoa.
So tell everyone how much you spent on your club insurance.
500.
What?
You spent 500
Hang on.
on shirts?
Hang on.
Chad almost
Wait
had a heart
second.
attack.
Hold on.
Maybe he's got a smoking deal and this guy's sitting on 500 shirts.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
How
See,
many shirts?
Swap meet.
2 shirts and 2 pants.
Oh my god.
Nice material.
Sammy.
Where did you
Okay.
go?
Built.
So hold on.
The UTC Mall.
What was the number 3.5? He's got a doucher outfit. He's way under.
Yeah.
So he would have to get 4 numbers to cash this.
4 numbers. Is this over the whole weekend or just tonight?
Whole weekend, and they
Whole
can't.
weekend.
They got to be girls.
They got
Why do they have to be girls?
Because it can't just be like his
It's
French
just
cousin who turned
numbers.
21.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, why?
It could be fun.
If it's
Well,
all
okay.
genders, we could do very well this weekend.
Yeah, you meet a buddy at the sports book and be like, "Hey, man, I don't have your number yet."
Okay, it has to be girls, but all of these girls, they can't have like one first name and it can't be an adjuctive describing something else.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Delicious.
It can't.
Yeah.
Their number can't be on a card handed to you.
Right, exactly.
Well, I feel like I need more information about Sammy before I give the over or the under.
He
Sammy,
likes you,
are
Kat.
You're the type. Okay, thank you, Fletch.
Okay.
Are you Sammy the
So
type of
he's gonna-
guy that really goes out with a mission to talk to chicks, or do you
It depends
go out
on the
and kinda
it depends on the night.
It's Vegas
There's-
on a Friday night.
He's going out to talk to
Yeah,
chicks.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm gonna
but-
give you. You know what, Sammy? Because it's your birthday, I'm gonna give you the over on 3.5.
Thank you,
I
Kat.
think you rake in all of the phone numbers this weekend.
He can
Cat's
start
the only
with
opinion
yours.
that matters here.
Good point.
Exactly.
Good point.
619, slam the under with my whole
Life
life savings.
Yeah.
All right, so we can establish rules. You're not allowed to pick these numbers up off the ground because in Vegas, those
No,
are
no, no. They
everywhere.
can't.
Yeah.
They can't be off a flyer.
No
No.
babysitters.
Or on a billboard.
No babysitters.
No
How about this?
babysitters.
Just no one on the job unless she's an actual bartender.
Okay. Here's the other thing. We did not come bearing gifts. So we feel like before you head off for your birthday weekend in Vegas, we don't want you to feel inexperienced. So your choice, either myself or Kat, will deflower you before you leave.
Wait, how come I was looking
Cat,
at the
you're
list?
fantastic. You're rich.
So, hang on.
Why was I immediately discounted on this?
Somebody's got to hold the camera.
Okay. Oh, I got it.
Somebody's
To
Oh,
be able,
That's what the chair in the room is for.
Kat, you have
To-
things that okay.
Okay,
Look, the point
before
is,
we get
Sammy,
into-
we'll work that out off
to be
air.
deflowered by an NFL player would be an honor.
Ew,
Wow.
Kat, looks like you're holding the camera.
She was a professional football player too, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
He was like,
He's like still rich.
All right, get that out of here. Thank you, guys.
Happy birthday,
You guys
buddy.
are the best. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday,
we
Sammy.
love you.
It is San Diego Sports 760. The entire text line agrees. They're hammering the under today. 619, definitely the under. 619 cannot be named Cinnamon, Sammy.
No faith in me tonight.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk some sports on the other side. It is Sammy Long's birthday. We are asking for your roast, so hit us up 70470. Start your message with team. The roast of Sammy Long has just begun. Hit the button, Sammy. All right, we got a lot to say in about a minute to say it. So here we go. Download the Prize Picks app, use promo code Fletch, and take advantage of a Flex Friday. Today, when you pick more than or less than on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash, it's a Flex Friday. So if you do a $20 entry and you check the promos tab, you are getting that $20 fully guaranteed. That means even if your lineup loses, you're getting the 20 back in promo funds. It is literally Prize Picks offering you a no-lose situation. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use promo code Fletch. Get that $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. We are going to gift you a $5 lineup today coming up at 12:45, a very special Sammy birthday edition lineup for long shots. Everything's going down today, all right? When you download the app, get ready to see the last basketball games of the year ready for you to go. Get ready to see football season-long entries ready to go. Baseball rest of the season entries, baseball daily entries. PrizePicks has you stocked for the rest of your favorite sports seasons. Download the app today. Use promo code Fletch, FLETCH. You can run your game with 50 extra bucks all season long on PrizePicks. Okay, the chaos is over, I think. Well, not quite, because Steve Hartman's going to be joining the show at 1:30 today. It is Ben Fletcher and Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. Sammy Long's birthday is today. 70470. Start your message with team. Be as mean as you can possibly be with us being able to read it on the air. The roast of Sammy Long kicking off the show day here on San Diego Sports 760. San Diego FC is back on the pitch tomorrow night where they play at Minnesota United FC. You can hear the match live tomorrow night starting at 5 right here on San Diego Sports 760, your home for SDFC, with the excellent voice of Adrian Garcia Marquez on the call, one of the most established play-by-play voices in the entire world. All right, Sammy, first segment got a little crazy. I know you didn't know that was coming. I did know that was coming. So when you told me you were worried about the big three right before we got on air, I said, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
I saw by your facial reaction, I was like, okay, he's got something.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
We want to thank everyone for coming in, that they're, you know,
people care about you, man.
The best.
You're part of a family here at San Diego Sports 760. We just want to hug you. Rich wants to do a little bit more than that, apparently.
Yeah, Rich and I got to talk later.
I think you guys need a broom closet or something. All right, it is San Diego Sports 760. We missed it at the beginning of the show because of the chaos. That'll be up on the podcast or the stream later on if you missed it. But it's time for the big three. So, Sammy Long, if you will, a little bit late in the day, let's smash that button.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The big three.
All right. Should we reset that for air? Because that's pretty good. What'd you just say?
I said I accidentally they brought a cake in, which is very nice, and I forgot it was here. I just got my hand covered in cake.
Which is exactly what you're going to say after tonight in Vegas. All right, Sammy, where are we starting?
All right, per Shams Charania. So Kevin Durant, trade expected within the next coming few days. A lot of buzz around the Timberwolves possibly being there. Houston, the Knicks are reportedly out on him. Where do you see him going? Where do you want to see him go, Fletch?
I do like the Houston idea, but I don't know what it would take to get him. You can maybe shed some light on that. Because right now, the way Houston plays is fun, energetic. They're just looking for somebody who can score when they need scoring, and that's Kevin Durant. But if it takes giving up that young core, which made this postseason run actually pretty fun for Houston, even though it was short-lived, then I don't know if I'm as in on it. But KD to Houston's fun. KD to the Spurs, it feels like title contender immediately with Wemby and De'Aaron Fox already on the team. And what was the other one? The T-Wolves?
So we actually got finalists. I didn't read these. Heat, Timberwolves, and Rockets. That's what Shams
So the
is saying.
Spurs are out.
The Spurs are apparently, as of right now, not among the finalists. But again,
Bill Simmons is a freaking liar.
Well, I wouldn't count him out because even though we've heard to your point, you said Bill Simmons said that, a couple radio hosts tapped in.
Bill Simmons said it was done.
Well, that makes the most. The interesting part is the best thing that happened for the Phoenix Suns is that there's reports coming out now that Giannis is not in it. Like Giannis is maybe not going to get traded. That's the best thing that happened for Kevin Durant because no one was going to give a massive lump sum to go get Kevin Durant, who's 38 years old, over a 31-year-old Giannis Antetokounmpo when they might have had him. So it's kind of holding it up. Now there's reports that Giannis isn't going out. These three teams will be interesting. I don't know. Everyone's high on the Rockets. I don't know what the Rockets do because
would Jalen Green be part of the deal to get KD?
See, I'm thinking that Phoenix would want Şengün because I don't know I don't know what Jalen Green's trade value is because he's so inconsistent. He has 38 in the one game against Golden State and he averages 10 points the rest of the series.
And without this sounding weird, he does have the body though. It's like there is limitless potential within Jalen Green.
Yes. But Şengün's the safe for getting the All-Star back. Minnesota would be interesting because they have to make a change. Their roster's kind of set. I don't know who you give up, though. You give up Randall, you give up Gobert. I don't know if Gobert has that much trade value. The Heat are a wild card in this because in a weak Eastern Conference, you have a pretty nice team between Harrow and Wiggins and Bam Adebayo, and you're able to land Kevin Durant, a bona fide star. In the Eastern Conference with Jason Tatum being out and a lot of fluctuation going on there, I could see the Heat making a little bit of a run. It would certainly be easier for Kevin Durant to get to the finals in the East than it would be the West.
I like it. All right, next.
All right, Padres out in the desert this weekend, playing in Arizona. What is an acceptable record for you? We're sitting here a week from today playing the Diamondbacks 3 times and then the Dodgers. What is a record that you're going to go, that was a success?
So 7 games. Give me 4-3.
4-3?
4-3, and 2 of them need to be against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So 2 against the D-Backs, 2 against the Dodgers. Split the series with the Dodgers in LA. If you split the series with the Dodgers in LA, I'm giving that a thumbs up.
Yeah, especially because if you split the series with the Dodgers, then it's, what would it be? It'd be 3-2 in the season series. The Dodgers would be winning, but there's 13 games they're playing total, so you're going to have some get back later in the year. But it does feel like a time to get the Dodgers. That's why this week's series was a little disappointing because of the amount of injured. The entire rotation's injured. They're only going to get healthier. But I do agree with you. I think 4-3 would be acceptable. The Diamondbacks are an interesting team because they got some good text coming.
I can't do it. Keep going. Sorry.
That's a phenomenal text. What was I saying? The Diamondbacks to begin with, they have a really good hitter, Corbin Carroll, Marte, all those guys, but the bullpen's terrible. They have a good starting rotation, even though Burns is hurt. The key to getting the Diamondbacks is in late innings. That's where I want to see the Padres really step up. I wouldn't be surprised if in a lot of these games, it's close, 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, something like that. In the later in the games, the Diamondbacks bullpen is awful. Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis, Arise, they all need to take advantage of this. We should be seeing some late inning comebacks in these games this weekend. They need to win this series.
2 out of 3 against the D-Backs, 2 out of 4 against the Dodgers. I'm a happy camper. What's next, Sammy?
All right, let's go back to the NBA. NBA Finals tonight. Is this like, who's under more pressure tonight?
OKC. I actually think this is kind of do or die for OKC tonight.
Okay.
If they don't win this game, they are in some serious trouble. I don't know where the betting odds are at now.
They started at 6, favored by 6, Oklahoma City in Indiana.
I don't mean for the game. I mean for the series.
I'll look that up right now.
Yeah. I don't know where they're at right now, but they're probably pretty close to even money, would be my guess. Maybe OKC slightly favored still. If they lose this game tonight, that will switch all the way back over to Indiana.
OKC per ESPN bet is minus 220 with Indiana still being plus 185 to win the series.
You're going to be in Vegas tonight, Sammy. I'm throwing money on that.
Yeah, I guess the question, obviously it's under more pressure, but then it's weird how this game is a real kind of swing because if the Thunder win, I think we could be going now it's 2-3 and then they have to go back and win one in Oklahoma City, which they did do in game 1 to be fair to them, but it took a major comeback to win it. If Oklahoma City goes down 3-1 in the amount of just kind of parade that's been given to Oklahoma City before they've won anything, this is not a team that has won things before.
Who do you like tonight?
I think Indiana does it.
Really?
I really do. I think Indiana wins tonight. I think Oklahoma City wins game 5. And I don't know about my pick for game 6.
This might be kind of bold. I kind of think OKC runs tonight.
Blows them out?
Runs them off the court. Like this might be a 20, 30-point win. It'll be the only huge blowout of the series.
Have you seen the stats of SGA? SGA in the fourth quarter of these games. Now, it's a little skewed because the second game was a blowout. He didn't play that much. Only averaging 7 points a game, less than 1 assist.
Yeah, SGA, when he's not getting fouled, he has a lot of trouble. But I kind of wonder what tonight's going to look like, and I feel like OKC is going to run away.
If they lose this series,
And Indiana might be a little full of themselves right now.
You're talking about a potential blow up because
Mhm.
if you it'd be one thing to lose a series to, let's say, Boston had got there, who won the title last year, a veteran team or something like that. I think you would be okay with losing it and say, let's run this thing back. You lose to a young Indiana team that you were a 7-1 favorite to beat. I think we could be looking at a potential Giannis package, something. They got to mix something up.
All right, get to some of these texts here before we get out. And then we're going to get to the NFL coming up next. Plus, we'll give away some Dirk Bentley tickets. 619. Sammy's long shots today have to include the over-under for Sammy's phone number quest. We set the line at 3.5. I feel like that's a beefy line. I like 2.5 a little bit better. But I also feel like Sammy's the type of guy who he's going to fall in love immediately. So he might get the first number and just...
You think that's my person? That's not my personality.
He's going to fall in love with the first girl that bats her eyes, and then he's going to be gone for the rest of the weekend. You won't even see him at the blackjack table.
We know that's a lie.
619. Happy birthday to a real one. Much love, Sammy from Big Marsh on the mic.
Marsh the best, man.
949. I got on late today. Did I miss the roast? Sammy looks like Garth from Wayne's World. Fletch looks like he eats cheese and crackers to be fancy. I actually enjoy eating cheese and crackers, but Sammy does look like Garth.
That's phenomenal.
Did you bring Bohemian Rhapsody into like pop culture?
That's good. I never heard that one before.
615. Sammy, I owe you an apology for doubting your Marshawn bet yesterday, and you were spot on about Kachuk.
The T's silent.
That's a dumb name, dude. Kachuk stepping up. Very impressive. I'll never second guess you again. On a somewhat related note, that overtime loss is possibly the worst pain I've ever felt from sports. I should have cashed out my $100 9-1 Panthers bet when they were up 3-0. Brutal. But hey, I did win Dirk Bentley tickets, so thanks for the pick me up.
Oh, 615. Yes, I know.
Is that our buddy Scott?
That's Budweiser Scott.
What up,
man,
bud?
I'm sorry about your Panthers. I was depressed like you last night. I was sick to my stomach when Edmonton came back. That's what I was frustrated with long shots. I called exactly what happened in the hockey game. I said Skinner would get knocked out of the game, and Kachuk would step up.
He did after the first period, didn't he?
Yeah, because he was giving up all these goals like back to back to back. And then Bobby Witt Jr. had to sell it. Like the one I thought was,
and he even got up in the 8th. Late game situation, down 1-0 to the Yanks. Dude, I was watching because I was sweating.
I thought I was like, he's gonna hit a double here. It's good. Bobby Witt really frustrated me. Jim Russell's favorite player of all time.
Blacklisted. All right, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we got some fun NFL stories heading into the 2025-26 season, which I believe, I don't have my counter up in front of me, I believe we are 82 days away. I'll double check that and confirm it on the other side.
Cannot get here soon enough.
Dirk Bentley tickets on the other side as well. So coming up next on San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
This sport is sponsored by Jack in the Box. Padres back series in the desert, taking on the Diamondbacks. Ryan Nelson will be going for AZ, while Stephen Kolek will be going for the Padres. That game will be on Apple TV Plus at 6:40. And then the NBA tonight, Game 4 of the NBA Finals, Thunder Pacers in Indiana. Oklahoma City betting lines are swaying back and forth. Open at 6-point favorites. We're bet down to 5.5. Now we're back up to 6.5-point favorites. The point total is set at 227.5, and that game will go on at 5:30 on ABC. You got so much more with the new T-Pain Munchie Meal at Jack in the Box, including your choice of burger or chicken tater melt, plus curly fries, a taco drink, and new stuffed cookie. Auto-tune not included.
San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher and Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. John and Jim will take over then. We got Dirks Bentley tickets for you. He's playing on June 19th out at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. We will give those away within the next 10 minutes, so keep on listening. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com if you want to buy tickets to the show, but keep listening if you want them for free. All right, the U.S. Open is going on today out at Oakmont. It is day 2. The cut line is projected to be at +5 for this tournament, which is kind of crazy in the world of professional golf. That just means anybody who is over +5, +6 and over, you are gone. You do not get to play for the weekend. You do not finish in the money. Anybody +5 and under is going to be moving on to the weekend. Why that's important is Scottie Scheffler is currently at +4 for the tournament. Scottie Scheffler was +225, the lowest odds of any golfer since Tiger Woods in 08 when he was favored by +225 or better in 2008 in all 4 majors. Scottie Scheffler is flirting with that cut line, man. So if it moves, if guys who are playing right now and this afternoon have really, really good days and that number starts to move up, Scotty could be in danger of not making the cut at the U.S. Open.
All he has to do is make it. That's all we need. We're going to live bet that thing. But
if he makes it to the weekend, Saturdays and Sundays are where he's at his best. I would feel comfortable putting money on him.
Yeah, we need this leaderboard right now is kind of whatever right now. We need some bigger names up there. I mean, Spawn, Griffin's been playing well, Hovland, but yeah, it's always fun on Sunday when you have some really, really big stars going back at it, like it was at the Masters with DeChambeau and Rory, and then Scotty made that run.
I do think the guys at the top, JJ Spawn, Thurston Lawrence, Sam Burns, Ben Griffin, Victor Hovland, most of those guys, I don't think outside of Ben Griffin are going to be, and maybe Victor Hovland, are going to be in contention coming up on Sunday. This Victor Perez dude, who's +1, is only as high as he is on the leaderboard because he had an ace, which is the second ace all time at an U.S. Open play. Xander Schauffele, Brooks Koepka, Phil Mickelson, all currently under the cut line. Those are probably the names you're watching out for. I have seen nothing about Rory. What is he doing?
Well, it's insane. He's like falling off a cliff.
Yeah, Rory's going to miss the cut. He's at +8 for the tournament.
It's like he just won it. He finally got over the hump, and now you kind of thought that he would go on a tear. It was like you finally got the kind of the monkey off your back. You win the Masters. You've been talked about as a choke artist for years since you ripped off those 3 majors in the 2012s and 2014. You finally do it, and it just feels like, I don't know, he's been on a parade tour. It's kind of beyond me that he's this bad.
Bryson DeChambeau is the cut line currently. He's at +5. Ludwig Aberg is at +5 as well. So there are big names who are going to be playing on the weekend, but not nearly as many as you would want if you're the USGA or the US Open. Now, the course where yesterday I was poo-pooing it a little bit is tough today. Guys are really, really struggling, especially around the green. Multiple players have been hitting just clear under the golf ball, and it's been kind of rough to watch. It looks like if Sammy and I were to go out and play like a municipal golf course, because guys are
except there would be more Coors Lights on the course.
Much, much more. Maybe they should do that. That might help them out a little bit.
That would be fun if they had golfers do an event.
Look at the screen right now. So Scotty practicing after his round, Scottie Scheffler, the world #1, is frustrated as hell. He's yelling at his coaches. He's in a bad spot.
He's only 8 shots back right now. And now he's got Spawn's got 9 left. But yeah, Scotty's got 2 days to work this thing out.
Scotty needs to make up with his trainers over there because he was just screaming at him. He's the good guy of the PGA Tour. That's a bad look. I promise you that's going to be trending in about 20 minutes.
He's the bad boy of the PGA Tour. He got arrested last year.
That's a good point. All right, NFL, let me pull up the official countdown here. We are getting closer, and it is, I'm seeing video all over the place of OTAs. Sammy and I both laugh at OTA superstars, which apparently Ashton Jatesy is the biggest OTA superstar of all time. I think he's going to be good, but it's ridiculous when we're looking at OTA film or minicamp film and saying, "Oh, this guy is about to break out."
You notice how every like position player or defender talks about their young quarterback. I didn't see who it was, but I heard it on Colin. I didn't catch the name. Someone on the Vikings compared JJ McCarthy to Josh Allen. I said,
God.
whoa.
Or what about Jamar Chase got caught on video yesterday, kind of struggling with one of the Bengals cornerbacks?
Yeah.
And everyone said, "Oh, Jamar Chase has lost a step. He's washed."
Remember
Pump the brakes.
Remember when Jamar Chase dropped? Remember, was it like 6 balls in the preseason his first year?
Yeah.
And everyone thought he sucked. And then he ends up having like 1,400 receiving yards.
I also saw video of Travis Hunter, who is now glorified as the world's best NFL player. We have not seen him play a single down of NFL football. We are 82 days, 11 hours, 23 minutes, and 38 seconds away from September 4th, which is the kickoff of the 2025-2026 NFL season. I can't wait for it, man. It's going to be a fun one. We got storylines going all over the place. But something a little fun to talk about. Let's talk some Raiders here, because Ashton Jancy, there's this big story about how coachable he is heading into the year, his first year as an NFL running back. Obviously, dude was the most dominant running back in maybe the last 7 or 8 years of college football, potentially going back to like Derrick Henry and Mark Ingram when they were tearing it up in Alabama. Ashton Jancy was that dude a year ago. But does he have what it takes to be like the Kareem Hunt of the 2025 NFL season, where Kareem Hunt came out of college and led the league in rushing right away? Where would you put Ashton Jancy right now before we've seen him play a down of NFL football among the top running backs in the NFL?
Well, if you go off, not that this always means you're a top running back, but if we go off like fantasy football rankings, he's a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Because of the usage that the Raiders have, that's going to work for him and against him. I think he's certainly going to have the opportunity to lead the league in rushing or be one of those kind of breakout immediate stars, Saquon Barkley's, Kareem Hunt's, your guys like that. The only problem with it, though, and this was my problem when the Raiders took him, not that Genty's not a phenomenal player, because he is. I think he's going to be a superstar. He's a superstar in college, and he dealt with this in college where he didn't really have a supporting cast. It was really just him and that offensive line carrying Boise State. The only problem with that is this is the NFL. The Raiders at least have a quarterback now. Whatever you think about Geno, he's better than what they had last year. Geno can win you some games. Are they going to go to the Super Bowl? No. Are they going to the playoffs? I don't think so. But Geno can win you some games. He's got a great head coach in Pete Carroll. I don't know that they have the weapons on the outsides, though, to where they're going to burn him so bad early in this season. They talk about a rookie wall about week 10 of the NFL season, because that's usually when college seasons are ending, but NFL is just kind of getting into the stretch run. For the Raiders' sake, I hope that they don't do a Josh Jacobs where they run him into the ground and they're not content, and they're going
Pete
to.
Carroll. That's what Pete Carroll does with his running backs.
Yeah. And I get it. You have to sell tickets because the Raiders are one of the most beloved teams nationwide. You're talking about a huge fan base that when they're good, they're up there with the Cowboys. They're getting talked about all the time. The Raiders have that kind of aura, I guess, to them. It just feels like it was the sexy pick. I don't know that it was the right pick for the Raiders.
I think it'll work out. We'll see, though. I certainly am rooting for Ashton Jancy. Now, the Raiders, who play in maybe the toughest division in all of football, the AFC West, are at 6.5 wins for this upcoming season. Now, if you think about it, the Broncos got better, I think. I think year 2 from Bo Nix, if he can improve on what he did in year 1, he was really damn impressive last year. The Chargers have gotten better in year 2 under Jim Harbaugh. They have a formidable offensive line. As gross as that might make some San Diegans feel, the Chargers have gotten better, and I seriously have them in like AFC championship conversations in my own head when I'm going to sleep at night. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. We know what they are. So playing that schedule, 6 of your games this year are against 3 teams who were all pretty good last year, and I think all got better this last offseason. It's going to be another tough year for the Raiders, unfortunately.
All 4 of those teams are legit. Like the Raiders to a lesser degree.
But the Raiders are at the bottom of that list.
The Raiders are at the bottom, and they're gonna beat someone good. They're gonna be that team that's gonna beat a top team in the NFL at the end of the season and kind of mess up the whole playoff picture. I think the difference in that division, this is not me just being a homer because I'm a Chiefs fan. The Chargers certainly got better. I think the Denver Broncos defense can be one of the best in all of football. My problem, though, is the weapons on the outside. I don't think that the Chargers, I don't think addressed enough. I don't think Mike Williams and getting Trey Harris from Ole Miss in the second round, you're really relying on him to come in and be Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey, the Chargers got bailed out. That Ladd McConkey was so good last year that they had a receiving threat. And I don't think the Broncos have the weapons that just the Chiefs do. You have to be able to score points to beat the Chiefs. And so I keep seeing all this stuff about how the Chargers are going to win the division or the Broncos. I don't see it personally.
Dirk Bentley tickets in about 30 seconds. We're going to read some comments from YouTube and the text line first. 949 is really going for the jugular. 949 says, Sammy looks like he breaks his own ankles doing layups. Fletch looks like he trips on acorns. Sammy looks like he likes fish sticks. Fish sticks. I'm going to be very careful how I say that. Fletch looks like he rocks Salty Crew undies under his swim trunks.
Salty Crew undies.
I'm not even going to lie. We had a big event for Big Rich TD and Fletch today. When we got back to the studio after the fact, we did crack open some Salty Crew brews from Coronado Brewing
Well,
Company.
that's one thing. I didn't know Salty Crew undies were a thing.
They got a whole clothing line, man. Comfortable stuff.
Salty Crew has clothes?
Yeah, you've never seen the Salty Crew?
Well, I've seen the shirts. I didn't know they had underwear.
I'm sure they do. I don't know that for a fact. 949. Fletch looks like he kisses his dog and pretends it's actually Brock Purdy. Sammy wishes he was Brittany Mahomes. Is that true? Do you sometimes go to
I
bed
wish
at
I was
night?
Brittany Mahomes because then I could have part of that $500 million contract.
949. Fletch looks like the before picture from a Rogaine ad. Sammy looks like the after. 949, dude.
949 is like a comedy writer.
We're not trying to cry today, all right?
I actually tweeted out that we're trying to make me cry today.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, I'd like to make Sammy cry, but why do I have to be involved in all these? It's not my birthday.
Yeah, because I've been getting shots all day, which is beautiful. But you're not immune from catching a few strays.
Dude, I took 6 years of direct shots. I don't think I need to take any more. All right. The long shots is coming up next.
We're gonna clip that, use that as a drop.
Oh God. Long shots is coming up next, where Sammy puts together a daily fantasy sports lineup for all of us. Right now, it is time to call for Dirk Bentley tickets. 877-767-4760. If you want to go see Dirks out at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater coming up next week on the 19th, now is the time to call. Caller number 7, you're going to the show. If you've never been to a Dirk Bentley show, it's a freaking party, dude. He comes out with a bunch of different characters on stage. It is a lot of fun with some awesome video graphics behind him as well. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. Download the Prize Picks app now so you can put together the long shots lineup with us. Coming up next, use promo code Fletch when you do. Hey, it's Fletch for Gary Cooper over at Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty. Give them a call today, 858-376-1299, or visit them online at mountaintrustmortgage.com. And Gary, when you look at trying to buy a home in 2025, it seems like it's getting even more complicated, which makes even more of a reason for our listeners to give you a call.
Yeah, this is a kind of a consumer beware. This happened several months ago when my daughter bought a house in Oceanside, and I thought it was just a one-off, that the insurance company made her put on the home within 30 days of purchase a whole house leak detection shutoff device. So now I come to find out, talking with Jeremy at Farmers Insurance, who's my insurance guy that I go to, and he informed me that if a home is over 30 years old, they are now requiring to have a water leak detector, an automatic shutoff valve installed in order to qualify for insurance coverage. That is word for word in the email and in our discussion. So for you listeners out there, be aware. The insurance companies are writing their own rules, but they are requiring these things because they're getting a lot of roof problems. And so this is one of the additional requirements in order to buy or purchase.
If you have any questions, there's one guy to call. His name's Gary Cooper. Call him today, 858-376-1299, or visit him online at mountaintrustmortgage.com. Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is back. Live performances by Bryan Adams, Ed Sheeran, Mariah Carey, Maroon 5, Sammy Hagar, The Offspring, Tim McGraw, and more. September 19th and 20th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. 2 nights, 1 stage. Buy tickets at AXS.com. Get them now before they sell out. Today is the first day those bad boys are on sale. Tyler on YouTube says, happy birthday, Sammy.
Thank
CJ,
you, Tyler.
our big voice guy, says, no names that are spices or precious gems either, Sammy.
CJ is the best, man. CJ is the backbone of San Diego Sports 760.
The line is set at 3.5, by the way, on numbers from women that Sammy can get out in Vegas. By the way, if she's like 45 years old, I give you bonus points. I'll count that as 2.
That's bonus.
I'll count it as 2.
Oh, well, we're definitely hitting this then.
Rich McGuire saying, happy birthday, Sammy. Looks like a party in there. Yeah, if you missed it, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, and a bunch of our staff here at San Diego Sports 760 all came in and gave Sammy a big cake and gave him a bunch of kisses on the cheek. And it was just a whole party in here at the very beginning.
Kisses on the cheek.
Yeah, I saw that.
From Rich. It was beautiful.
Rich did say he would like to institute prima nocta before you head out to Vegas.
What even is that?
That's a deep cut reference, man. Someone in the audience got it. It's actually from the movie Braveheart.
Oh, is that? Can you say what that is?
Probably not.
Now I'm gonna get clowned for not knowing that.
But Rich is gonna go ahead and do that for you before you head out to Vegas. So it is San Diego Sports 760. And
I'm trying to get my parlay together right now.
Okay. Well, you keep working on
putting the
that.
finishing touches on this.
You keep working on your very, very special happy birthday parlay. Meanwhile, on the text line, Sammy looks like Sammy Long from the Fletch Zone. Who knew? That's from the 858.
That was 858. Was that a roast?
Yeah. 949. Sammy looks like Lil Bow Wow's foster brother from Like Mike. Dude. What a freaking text, 949. Bringing out Like Mike. That's the movie where the shoes are up on the telephone wire, right? And he finds them and he gets Michael Jordan's power.
That's fantastic.
What a text, 949.
Wow.
Speaking of nostalgia and stuff like that, they just released Backyard Baseball on the PS5, like that game that had Pablo Sanchez in it. And my weekend is gone because that is all I will be doing this weekend is playing Backyard Baseball. Dude, I have so many memories of getting home from like middle school and immediately running into the family room where we had the computer. We had one computer and running into that room and immediately firing up Backyard Baseball. My brother and I would play that for 10 hours at a time. That and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 was fun.
The best game maybe ever with the best soundtrack maybe ever. Lights out, Guerrilla Radio. Turn that up. All right, Sammy Long, if you're ready to go, we're ready to go. Let's hit that button.
Let's see. Underdogs? Nah, that's old. Those with a less than good chance of winning? Too wordy. Wait, got it. It's time for Sammy's long shots.
I have this whole like burn sheet of stuff to talk about in case like Sammy's not ready for long shots or something. And I forgot to mention Mel Brooks announced yesterday Spaceballs 2 is coming.
Yeah. Is this bad that I've said I've never seen Spaceballs?
You never seen Spaceballs?
No.
Watch it when you get home or maybe on your flight to Vegas. Are you flying or driving?
Flying.
Watch it on your flight to Vegas. Spaceballs will change your life.
Flight to Vegas is like 45 minutes.
It's a short movie. Maybe not that short, but you should watch it.
I think watch The Hangover going to Vegas.
Yeah, that's a better call. Spaceballs is great, though. Put it on your list for sure. Spaceballs, my dad showed it to me when I was way too young. My mom got mad at him. That's the whole thing.
That's the best when one parent shows you a movie when you're way too young, and then you're just kind of open to a whole new world of things.
Spaceballs is great. You should watch it.
Okay. Well, I got a parlay. I had to put it together. I got 4 legs right now, but I'm debating taking out one, so I'll let you know about that. So we have 1 hockey and 3 NBA tonight. Trust me, we've got a lot of time to do baseball with the NBA Finals, Stanley Cup Finals finishing up here soon. So we're gonna hit baseball back on Monday. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, more than 33.5 points tonight. I know that feels like we're going with the best player, we're going more than, but this is a big game for Shai. This is specifically him. He had 24 points in the last game, 6 turnovers on the night, which was a career high in the playoffs for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think Shai has a big night. He has to, because the rest of the team is not really stepping up. Jalen Williams had a good game in game 3. I don't know. There's something about it's a very collective team. It's a very good team, but I don't know that in money time we're going to Jalen Williams or Chet Holmgren. It has to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I expect a bounce back game. They need this game. Fletch, as you were mentioning earlier, they can't lose this game. If they lose this game to the Pacers, they're losing the series. They're not winning 3 straight because I just don't see that. This Pacers team is playing with confidence. I think the Pacers are going to win tonight, but I do think this is a close game, and Shai Gilgeous goes over on point, 33.5. Now, Benedict Mathurin. I know this could be a sucker bet because he hit the over in the last 2, but I'm going over 10.5. I know this is a lower number, and some people are going to go, well, the Thunder are going to game plan for him. They're not going to let him go. I just think Mathurin's that kind of guy. I think Rick Carlisle has figured out that for us to win the series, meaning the Pacers, Mathurin has to be a premier scorer because he can be. He was a 6th pick out of Arizona. He has all the talent in the world. He was only buried on the depth chart because he had Halliburton in front of him. They trust Nembhard and McConnell and those guys on defense a little bit more, so he's gotten minutes over them. And then Nesmith had a great year, obviously, especially in that Knicks series. I think he has a big night. 10.5 feels like a low number, and I think we're going to get this just in terms of sheer magnitude. I think they're still thinking that he's going to have a regression game, but I think Carlisle is going to be a big part of the offense, Mathurin, heading forward. Now, on to hockey. Obviously, crazy game last night. Did you watch it last night, Fletch?
I saw some of the overtime.
Nuts. So, unfortunately, for those hating on the Edmonton Oilers, did not work out well for us because they came all the way back. Florida was up 3 goals. They score 4. Florida ties it. They go into overtime, and Draisaitl wins it. Sergei Bobrovsky, more than 20.5 goal saves. This could be risky considering that they're in Edmonton.
How about his Red Demon at 29.5?
If you want to do that, we can. If we're feeling a little risky, we can do Red Demon.
It's your birthday. You're not going to lose on your birthday.
Yeah. Okay. 29.5. And it's a flex play, so might as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to go 29.5. Sergei Bobrovsky, Red Demon. Now, he honestly had a good first period. He had a great first period. Then this is what the Oilers do, though. They come in waves. I mean, they when they score 1, I've never seen a team that's more scary after they score 1 goal because they just Draisaitl, McDavid, they double up the lines. Bouchard's a crazy slap shot from the top of the ice up there. But Bobrovsky is an elite goalie. He's one of the best in all hockey. This is an important game because if Edmonton wins this game, then you're feeling like, oh no, because they stole that one. They should have lost that game. But they win it. They go up 3-2 in the series. Bobrovsky's going to have a big game. I would not be surprised if it goes to overtime as well. That's why you always take the Red Demon because there's always a possibility of hockey going to overtime. So that's just a 3 pick for this weekend. We're keeping it light. Bobby Witt sold us yesterday. I hit 3 of 4 picks, but that damn Bobby Witt had a not hit against the Yankees.
Wait, why are we keeping it so light? You don't want another one? I thought you said you have 4.
I did, but I took it out.
Wow.
Because I with the Mathurin, I had Halliburton over, but I feel like that was too small of a percentage to happen.
All right, well, we got a demon in there, so we're happy with it.
Yeah. All right. So to recap, Bobrovsky, more than 29.5 goalie saves, Red Demon. Benedict Mathurin tonight, more than 10.5 points. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, more than 33.5 points.
858 texting in saying Spaceballs is peak 80s comedy. That is a fact. Spaceballs, instead of, you know how in Star Wars, like they hold the lightsabers like this, Sammy, like a baseball bat almost. In Spaceballs, here, I'll just demonstrate for you. The lightsabers are like this.
I'm glad the stream caught that.
Oh, yeah. That was just for YouTube.
That was, well, now I have to watch it.
Now, Mel Brooks is like 98 years old. This movie's supposed to come out in 2 years. So Mel Brooks is going to be 100 when the movie comes out, hopefully. And
that's awesome. Like, you're just making movies till you literally keel over.
He's bringing back his character in this movie. He played Yogurt, which was their version of Yoda. And so he's coming back as Yogurt. They better film his stuff first. That's all I'm saying.
I got to watch the movie. I don't get any of these references, but I'm sure it's fantastic.
It's Star Wars.
Seems to like it.
It's a spoof of Star Wars.
See, but I don't appreciate Star Wars being spoofed.
I'm telling you, it's great. They do it the best way. Rick Moranis, who was the main character, he was Darth Vader in that universe, is coming out of retirement for this. He hasn't acted in 20 plus years.
He was in Ghostbusters too, right? He was the guy that turns?
Yes. And he was also Little Shop of Horrors. That was his movie.
Okay.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I think that was him. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah.
But Rick Moranis is great.
Is that on your all-time list of comedy, Spaceballs?
I don't know about all-time list of that like era. It's like Airplane, Spaceballs, The Producers, which Mel Brooks also did. Like those goofy slapstick kind of out there, so ridiculous movies. I like those. My
favorite 70s or this one. No, this was 84. I love Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap is great.
Spinal Tap is one of my favorite all-time movies.
It's great. It's perfect.
If we're going back that far, like
like comedies, they don't make comedies like that anymore.
I'm excited for this one with Eddie. I hope this one with Eddie Murphy.
But see, that's like that's like an action comedy. That's a very Eddie Murphy comedy. Like they don't make the Mel Brooks style comedy anymore.
Yeah.
You need Mel Brooks to come back, which he's doing, which is awesome.
Well, you have actors and stuff scared to say things. Then it's also a risk at the box office. That's why it is streaming service is cool because they drop it right to the streaming platform. If people are interested in the movie, just go to it versus having to show up and go to a theater, which I love, but it's tough for a lot of people.
Which is why you need Mel Brooks, where he's like, okay, cancel me. I have like a year left in this life.
Dude, I saw it today. This is totally random. Kingpin 2 is being made.
Really?
In the whole cast.
Are they bringing back everybody?
Everyone's back.
See, that's the cool thing about Spaceballs too. Everyone's coming back, except unfortunately, John Candy's not alive anymore.
Yeah.
He played Barf, which was a great character. All right, San Diego Sports 760. We got hour number 2 with Steve Hartman coming up next. Can't wait for it. Steve, as always, just really sends us into the weekend on the bright note. 70470. Start your message with team. We are doing the roast of Sammy Long for Sammy Long's birthday today. If you missed it earlier in the show, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch invaded the studio as well as Cat Fisher. Do you feel weird about Cat calling you 19 years old? Is that okay?
Well, no, I didn't hear it at first, and then I was like, that's fine.
I also think she was kind of flirting with you in a little bit.
19's legal.
Wow. You want a number? You might get her on a last-minute flight to Vegas with you.
Sure, Cat can come.
San Diego Sports 760.
Cat would be the most fun of all of you in Vegas.
She don't drink.
She doesn't drink?
Not at all.
Oh, well, then maybe we have to.
5 years ago, Cat, that would have been a party.
Oh, she drank then?
Oh, big time.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, okay.
San Diego Sports 760. Hour 2, next.
This sport is sponsored by Lowe's. Padres start a 3-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks out there in Phoenix. The game tonight will be at 6:40 on Apple TV Plus. Arizona is currently favored by -135. Kolek's going for the Padres, while Ryan Nelson will be going, who is currently 2-2 on the season with a 4.80. ERA will be going for the Diamondbacks, and the run line is set at 9.5. Craftsman days are here at Lowe's. Save $100 on the Craftsman V20 Max 6-tool Power Tool Combo Kit, now at $199. Head to your nearest Lowe's store for big savings on tools today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
23 years ago today, a man was brought forth in the California desert. That man now sits behind a microphone with intelligence,
Very smart.
insight, and an ability to predict the future. Man, I wish he was here.
Witt takes advantage of this, starts the series off right, 1.5 total bases, more than for Bobby Witt Jr.
That's not true.
This actually totally sucks.
Well, anyway, today we celebrate Sammy's birthday
It's your birthday.
as he heads off to Vegas.
Not a worry, not a care.
Plus, the roast of Sammy Long is coming up. Let's get into a special edition of the Fletch Zone.
And it's hour number 2 here on San Diego Sports 760. I'd like to give a congratulations to our buddy Bryant, who won those Dierks Bentley tickets a little bit earlier on in the show. John and Jim will have another 4-pack to give away a little bit later on, but that is it for us today. Now, Sammy, it is his 23rd birthday. We are very excited about that. The roast on
You're very excited about it?
I'm very excited about it, Sammy.
I think you're just excited that, see,
I want to live vicariously through you for the next couple of days when you're out in Vegas.
For those, I didn't think I was gonna be able to go to Vegas because I sprained my ankle a couple days ago, and I really couldn't walk on it very well at all yesterday. And Fletch texted me, very kind, asking about how the doctor's office went. He bought me a nice bottle of mezcal, but then I said, it's good. I'm going to be ready to go. And immediately goes, great. So now you can place bets for me. I go, that's the reason he wanted me to go.
No, I'm just excited you're going. I at 1:45 today, we are going to deliver the parlay that you and I are putting in Vegas. We're going to go 50-50 on this thing. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. Maybe some futures involved with it so that we have an excuse to go back.
Always excuses to go back.
Yup. All right, here we go. So ChatGPT has written a roast of Sammy. I don't think it knows anything about you.
Kat said she did this and she didn't like them.
So this is like what you would see on a roast battle. This is more long form. So I'm just going to read this. Again, this is not from me. This is from ChatGPT. Oh, Sammy, 23 years old. Congratulations on being this close to doing absolutely nothing with your life. Seriously, you've been alive for 23 years and somehow peaked at just being Sammy. You've spent 2 decades on this planet, and your biggest achievement is probably keeping your phone battery above 10%. At this point, your life's not a highlight reel. It's a blooper compilation. You've got the ambition of a house cat and the decision-making skills of someone who picks restaurants based on the fonts of the sign. Sammy's the kind of guy who would lose a game of solitaire and blame the dealer. Get it? Because you're the dealer. Sammy, honestly, if laziness were an Olympic sport, you wouldn't even show up for the event. You'd just send a thumbs up emoji and
It'd be
call
Jim
it a day
Russell and I right there together
and still win gold. But hey, you're 23. You have time to turn it all around, or at least time to scroll through TikTok while life passes you by.
That was,
happy birthday, Sammy. May your dreams be as big as your excuses.
I think for everyone, that's a little depressing. I mean, it sounds like ChatGPT really is not looking forward to life. Maybe because, listen, I don't want AI to come after me. We don't know where this is all going. Maybe because they're just answering questions all day, they get a little bored, but that's a little sad, But
have you seen that the AI models are now starting to copy themselves when they start to get taken down? This is creepy, dude.
It's a little. Now, ChatGPT got shut down the other day.
I know, I saw that.
So there's some constraints on this.
No, but like there's some model like ChatGPT that they were going to pull the plug on it and say, we're updating you to the newest software. And then that model went and copied itself and put itself on a secure server that humans can't get to.
Are you serious?
Yeah. We are heading to the end times. In fact, we might already be there. I also just sent you on Instagram the first official TV commercial that is 100% AI, made by AI, with all AI characters, and it looks amazing. And it's fun. And I'm not going to say the name of the company because I can't.
Dude, we should have we need Tom Cruise.
We need Tom Cruise.
We need TC because I saw the meme when ChatGPT went down. He said he had the key. Could have shut this whole thing down.
What's the key?
Oh, have you seen the new Mission Impossible?
No, dude. Spoilers.
It's not a spoiler. It's in the trailer.
Oh, okay. It is San
Yeah, what
Diego
are we-
Sports
oh,
760.
God.
Steve Hartman is coming up at 1:30 today. We're going to chat with Uncle Steve, get his perspectives on Vegas, get his perspectives on the NBA Finals, and talk a little Dodgers Padres with him as well. But right now, like we do every day at the beginning of each hour, it is time for the top stories in the world of sports. Birthday boy, smash that button.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
949 is on fire today, but 760 says Spinal Tap 2 is coming out, Sammy.
Yes, I know. That's going to be fantastic. I hope that's in theaters.
949, Sammy thinks the dancers in Vegas actually like him.
That's pretty good.
Without giving too much away, just give maybe a nod. Are you planning on going to see any of the dancers in Las Vegas?
I don't think we need to get into that at all.
949, Sammy thinks he looks like Brad Pitt, but he actually looks like the little kid from Jerry Maguire. Rich did say that joke earlier, 949, but I know you weren't here at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm
going to
give 949 a credit because they, whoever 949 is, has had about like 20 of these holstered. So really creative. He might need a contract deal with Warner Brothers or something like that to be writing a comedy.
If you'd like to watch the show ever, you can find us on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760, on X at Fletch and Sammy, Pass Point Comics on YouTube. Happy birthday, Sammy. Does Sammy remind you of Froggy from the old Little Rascals show? A little bit.
Dude, I didn't realize I looked like so many cartoon characters.
Well, it's the glasses and it's the face and it's the hair and it's just
good,
everything.
I never heard that.
All right, let's rip through them. What are the top stories for hour number 2?
So, of course, the Cowboys are back in the news.
Oh, boy.
Why wouldn't they be? It's OTAs.
What'd Jerry say?
No, this is not what Jerry said. This is what Dak Prescott said. Once a Super Bowl title, legacy can, quote, be damned. You have any thoughts to those comments? This comes a week after Brian Schottenheimer said, if we win, we win. If
you want to
lose,
go be a backup with the Buffalo Bills? Because then you could get a Super Bowl.
Well, when have the Buffalo Bills won a Super Bowl?
This year.
Okay. Oh, we're still on that?
Or do you want to be a backup with the San Francisco 49ers?
Okay.
Give your shot a win.
I mean, now we're just laughing.
I'm saying it's just not going to happen in Dallas is what I'm saying. Not this year, not with this team. It doesn't make sense. It's not in the cards right now.
Have you seen what Schottenheimer said too today? He said that once they win a bunch of games, which he's predicting they will do, the entire coaching staff will be rated. That's why he has young prospects coming up the pipeline to be able to. I don't understand the talking the Cowboys are doing.
I got them at 9 or 10 wins this year, which is good.
The problem is the division's legit.
The Commanders are great. I think even though Debo does look fat as hell. I don't know if you've seen his training camp.
But the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, and the Giants have maybe one of the best pass rushers in all of football.
There is a real chance the Cowboys finish 4th.
That's not a joke. That's not even like hating on the Cowboys. There's a real possibility they finish 4th. The Giants with Tyrone Tracy, Malik Neighbors, Kayvon Thibodeau, that Abdul Carter, huge pass rush, Jackson Dart coming in if he can ball at all. The Cowboys are talking a lot like they won this division, and for a lot of years there, because Washington and New York was so bad, it was 4 wins every year, and then if you split with Philly, you're probably getting into the playoffs. It's just I don't know what they're doing. It's kind of hypocritical because this is what happens when you take all the money, Dak. You take all the money, and I get it. I mean, Jerry Jones is crazy, and so is Schottenheimer and all these guys. But you take all the money, you don't have a second receiver. You pay CD, him, and possibly Micah once he gets paid. That's the whole team. Counting on Trayvon Diggs coming back and saving your season, I don't get it. I think the Cowboys are headed for a bad season. And Schottenheimer talking too much is beyond me.
We got time for one more.
Let's go to the Padres. Padres, big weekend out there in Phoenix, taking on the Diamondbacks. Who do you want to step up the most this weekend? What player is under the most pressure this weekend in your mind, Fletch?
It almost feels unfair to just keep going after Xander, but that dude is under pressure until he starts to turn it around a little bit. And like Kevin Acee said earlier this week, it's time to just be hopeful that he has something left because this money's going to him anyway. Fernando's obviously under a great deal of pressure right now. Fernando needs to play better. He knows he needs to play better. He looks like he's pressing a little bit. So I would like to see Fernando come out of everything he's been dealing with. But really, I'm going to go to Manny Machado and Luis Ariz because Manny Machado and Luis Ariz, as well as Fernando Tatis Jr., just he had it earlier in the game, both had opportunities against the Los Angeles Dodgers with the bases loaded in the 7th inning in their final game of that series and didn't come through. I would take plus money when when Manny Machado and Luis Ariz both get an opportunity at bases loaded that someone is going to score a run, and it didn't happen. So those two guys obviously coming off that game, obviously going into a series with another NL West rival, You got to play well over this weekend. So give me those two guys.
Piggyback off that, I think those two are good answers. I'm going to go with Fernando because we expect more from Fernando. This was a guy who a month ago was in the NL MVP race. This is a guy we're talking about as could he take down Shohei Ohtani as the MVP, and he's just fallen off the face of the earth. And not that he can't get back there because Fernando is a great player. We all know this. He does step up in some of the biggest moments. But, I mean, he also, people kind of forget about it because, understandably, criticizing Machado for that Wednesday game. He swings on the 3-0 count, even though should he have had the green light? It looked like it was probably a strike, but it wasn't a great strike to swing at. Arise with the pop-up earlier in that game. I believe it was the second or third inning. I'm blanking on which one right now. But Fernando pops up.
Second inning.
When there's bases loaded.
Popped out to right field. Pretty non-competitive AB also.
I mean, there were two instances in that game from the top three hitters in the lineup between Arise and Machado and later in the game and Fernando early where they could have broke that thing open and won the first series against the Dodgers, and they didn't capitalize on it. So I'm on Fernando. And then this might be kind of cheap, but the entire defense, because what we saw on Monday was pretty pathetic from a team that had 3 errors. I mean, and then almost a fourth when Machado had to come over and snag that ball out of Bogart's hand or out of Cronenworth's hand because at second base, it feels like there were so many opportunities between Monday and Wednesday for the Padres to win those games. And it's a testament to their talent that on the Monday game, they were in it. And they almost should have won at the end of the game despite all those errors. The defense has to get cleaned up. They had to start hitting at the top of the lineup, especially with all these pitcher injuries that are out right now.
All right, the Padres are also facing a potential crisis in their bullpen as we head into this 7-game stretch now where you're facing the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers back-to-back. Let's talk about a little bit on the other side, because if things continue the way they have been, we have some numbers from Kevin Acee that are pretty troublesome for the San Diego Padres. We'll talk about it coming up next. We'll give you those numbers. You're listening to San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Some Padres talk coming up next. I can make it anywhere. San Diego Sports 760. San Diego FC back on the pitch tomorrow night when they play at the Minnesota United FC. You can hear the match live tomorrow night starting at 5 o'clock right here on San Diego Sports 760, your home for SDFC. I do love me some Jay-Z, man. I don't know where he ranks in the best rappers of all time, but woo!
Jay-Z's up there. You can make a case, certainly top 5 for JC.
Top producer, top, what did I say, producer? That's what I meant.
Well, that's what
Label maker.
If Kanye didn't go crazy, it's insane that he produced Kanye West or he produced Jay-Z and then went on to a huge rap career, except he just went nuts.
I think Jay-Z was recently on with Letterman and was asked about Kanye, and I thought his answer was like the greatest answer you could possibly give. He said, "That's my little brother. I love him, but I don't like him right now."
Yeah, it's like, dude, just shut up. Like, everyone loves your music and you say these outlandish things about people. It's like, just stop talking.
All right, so the San Diego Padres are about to enter into their second straight 13-game stretch where they don't have a single off day. In fact, in the next 29 or 31 days, so 1 month time, the Padres will be playing 29 of those 31 days. That's a lot of work, man. And when you look at what this bullpen has been up to, let's just, I'm going to read this directly from Kevin Acey's article so we don't get this wrong, but this is a little bit worrisome. All right, so Monday was the 12th time in the past 24 games that the Padres bullpen has either lost a lead or let an opponent untie a game. That is after the team's relievers began the season protecting the first 22 leads in which they were given. So the bullpen over the last 24 games, the Padres bullpen has either given up or lost a lead 12 of those 24 times. That is exactly 50% of the time. Now, the 22 of 23 days leading up to yesterday, which was the first off day, the bullpen had posted a 2.69 ERA, which isn't bad. It's 8th in the majors, but they're working 83 2/3 innings over that time, which is a ton of innings. Padres relievers made 82 appearances over that span of 24 games. An astonishing 71 times a reliever entered a game with the game tied or the Padres leading or trailing by no more than 2 runs. So all of that's a little bit of a word salad. If you want to find it, it's on Kevin Acey's his article that he released today. But what that means is it's not just the number of innings that the Padres relievers are pitching. It is the amount of stress they're under in those innings. Because basically all of them over a 24-day span have been with either a 2-run or less game or mostly tied. So it's not just that Jason Adams is getting out there all the time. It's not just that Jeremiah Estrada is out there all the time. It's that they're going out there in situations where every pitch is meaningful. It's not like they've had any blowouts or been trailing by a ton, just going into a game and not really mattering. It's that every time they've been out there, the entire game is on the line.
Well, I think it also showed that article, which is great by Kevin Acey. I go check it out. It says a lot about the starters too, because if you remember this team that started 14-3, number 1 ERA in the bullpen in baseball, right. And it was by far, and we all knew that was not fair to expect over 162 games.
They protected the first 22 leads they were given.
So what that tells you is that we probably, all of us included, everyone in the San Diego sports media nationally, probably were hyping the Padres starting rotation a little too much because the back end, the bullpen was covering up for a lot of problems they would ever get into. We can harp on that. Like you said, Jason Adams has done so many innings. Coach Quintero has been on that. He's had a little bit, Estrada had a rough go, kind of giving up the bomb to Teoscar the other night. But I mean, everyone, it feels like after they lost Tanner Scott, and I'm not saying that that's the wrong decision because Tanner Scott he's been pitching better for the Dodgers, but has certainly struggled a lot this year. And per that price point, it was probably the right move from AJ Preller. AJ Preller looks a lot better after letting him go. But I think what we're seeing is that maybe the depth isn't there that we thought. When the ideal rotation is going for the Padres, Adams healthy, Suarez is healthy, Estrada, that's a nasty bullpen. And Morahone's been really good at times. But you're not going to be able to do that over a 162-game season. And I kind of go back to this. If you watch the Dodgers run to win the World Series last year, a lot of that was because they got blown out in every series they were in except the World Series. They got blown out by the Padres in Game 2. They got blown out by the Mets in Game 2 as well. So the kind of underlying theme of that is people are pissed up in LA, but they didn't use any high leverage arms. So these guys were totally healthy. As people go, the Dodgers went to bullpen games. They did, but they were able to do so because they basically were getting multiple days off in between. And again, over a playoff series, it's different. We go back to Monday night. We were heavily criticized Schilt for not leaving Suarez in there after only 10 pitches. I get it. It would be different if this was in the NLCS or in the NLDS. That would certainly, you'd probably send him back out there and not put Peralta out there. But yeah, both the Dodgers and the Padres bullpens are extremely taxed right now, and they're gonna need to add some help there.
There are some quotes out there right now from Dave Roberts. I don't have them in front of me, but where he's essentially talking about the way Mike Schilt utilized his bullpen during this series. And he kind of said Mikey was using his bullpen as if it was a postseason series, and that he wasn't going to do that, especially on the second game of the series, because they can't do that right now. Well, the Padres are about to enter into that situation where they cannot keep doing this. And Kevin Acee lays it out because he talks about the 2021 season. And if you remember the 2021 season like I do, you remember an absolute implosion. Well, the biggest number to back that up is that the starting pitchers all got hurt in 2021, a lot like they're all getting hurt right now. In the bullpen, who halfway through the season had the best ERA in baseball, all the way up till July 6th, so about halfway through the year, would end up having the 7th worst ERA in all of baseball, 4.5 for the rest of the season, July 6th and on. So that was 2021. But the trend that's a little worrying is we're seeing similar things happen right now. Now, obviously, you could not predict that Yu Darvish would not be with this team halfway through the year or leading up into the All-Star break. You couldn't predict that Michael King, who would go out with some scapula thing from sleeping weird on his shoulder, would go weeks and weeks and weeks of missing the MLB season this year. But it doesn't change the fact that your bullpen is being overutilized in a big, big way right now. And maybe, not saying this is for sure, but the Padres' biggest problem with this team is not left field. It might actually be the bullpen right now.
It's a real conversation. And the one sliver of hope I think we can look forward to seeing Dylan Cease pitch, he was fantastic on Tuesday.
Fantastic. And he goes on runs, man.
That's just about to get to. He goes on runs and he gets really streaky. He had not been bad the first month or two of the season, but had not been the Dylan Cease that you were expecting in a contract year to be the dominant ace that he can be. On Tuesday, he was fantastic. So maybe he goes on a little bit of a run. The injuries, which you just highlighted, have certainly been a big deal with that. Michael King was really kind of coming on when he got hurt, and Yu Darvish, we haven't had all season. But the starters got to give you more length. And that's what was kind of a bummer about the Dodgers series is heading back to last weekend against the Brewers, is Berger and Kolek and these guys gave you some length. I think heading into the weekend, if you would have said how all three in Vasquez, how all three of them performed, you would have taken that heading into, and maybe that's why Schilt uses bullpen the way he did, but you can't get these guys in trouble early in these series because this next week is super crucial for the division.
And you want to know what the deep, dirty secret is about the only thing that actually takes pressure off your bullpen? It's not starting pitching. It has nothing to do with starting pitching. The only thing that actually takes pressure off your bullpen is scoring a lot of runs.
That's the other side.
If the offense can score enough runs to get out to big leads, starting pitching doesn't have to do nearly as much, and the bullpen does not get put in these high leverage situations where you have to go with your A team every single time. You can go to the B team bullpen and give your A team some rest if you have a 3 or 4 run lead by the time you get to the 8th inning.
Completely. Guess what happens if Fernando Tatis comes through in the 2nd inning or Machado or Rise comes through in the 7th?
The rest of the game is managed completely differently.
And you may still use your high leverage arms because the Dodgers are a lethal lineup, but to what you were saying earlier, you're not coming in where every pitch is dire. Every pitch. I mean, you got to give Jason Adam credit. I believe it was last Sunday against Milwaukee when he came in. I believe it was in the 8th inning. Suarez finished the game. Came in the 8th inning, and he was fantastic. He went 1, 2, 3 on the guy, but there were 2 on, 2 out. I mean, he was coming in situations where there's no time to get loose. Sometimes you're rushing the bullpen performance. But there's a lot going on with this Padres team. We know what they can be when they're healthy, when they're on. I think you saw that Tuesday night, even though the Dodgers forfeited the game. You see that the talent the Padres have, it's not all doom and gloom, but this is not the time to be going, hey, it's early June. No, the next week is big because if the Padres have a losing record over the next week and you're down multiple games to the Dodgers, I think you can probably kiss the division goodbye, especially. I'm saying.
No, it's legit too.
But we could flip that. If the Padres are able to go 3-1, which I think is, it could, the Padres' talent would allow that, or at least split the series 2-2 against the Dodgers. I think that's very manageable, but it's been this close this far. The Dodgers are extremely hurt. It's a shame that the Padres so far in a small 3-game set. So I'm not going to kill them. It's a 3-game set. We're going to get a lot more, pieces of the puzzle next week. If you don't beat the Dodgers in the series, you better beat the Diamondbacks because Diamondbacks are getting hot right now. You got to keep some of these teams off your tail. But
the Diamondbacks are the weirdest team in baseball. That's what the Diamondbacks
they've gotten better since Burns got hurt.
For sure. But I went back and looked last night at the Diamondbacks year so far, kind of trying to get ready for today. The Diamondbacks are this team that will lose 5 straight games, win 5 straight games, lose 3 straight, win 4 straight, lose. It's like they never just go win-loss, win-loss.
And quickly,
ever. They just won 3 straight, so maybe they're about to lose 3 straight.
Exactly. Before we, get to Steve, I think that the one spot that the Padres are in that is better, I think, than the Giants and the Diamondbacks. The Giants and Diamondbacks have massive glaring holes. The Giants can't score runs, and
the Padres don't.
Well, That's
come
true.
on.
It's true. No, it's true. It's to be fair, it's true. But I think that they have the Padres have the talent, have the superstars, so where they could get that turned around. The Giants simply don't have the guys to score runs, and that's not going to get solved by one batter at the deadline. The Diamondbacks bullpen is awful. Awful. It's one of the worst in baseball. Padres need to take advantage and keep this thing closed for the next week.
Steve Hartman, in 5 minutes, you're going to hear that man's voice. If you've been missing him, he's next. Steve Hartman, right after I tell you all about Prize Picks. It is time for you to download that app. It's time for you to use promo code Fletch, and it's time for you to get a $50 bonus after you play your first $5 entry. Here is your $5 entry. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, otherwise known as SGA, the MVP, more than 33.5 points tonight. Benedict Mathurin, more than 10.5 points tonight, otherwise known as Benedict Mathurin of the Royal Court, and Sergei Brabovsky, the goalie in hockey, for more than 29.5 goalie saves. That is a red demon. Those red demons, man, they'll get you. That's a higher payout if your lineup wins. So here's how tonight's going to go. This is all going to happen, right? And then coming up on Monday, we're going to open up the show by being like, oh my God, we all have so much money. Thanks to Sammy, thanks to Fletch, thanks to Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. All you got to do is use more than or less than on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. I had one of these lineups going the other day. It's a lot of fun, man. You just stack up some red demons and you see that number balloon. I did not win, but I did get very, very close. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use promo code Fletch, and you can run your game all season long, especially on a Flex Friday like today is where you have a $20 free, fully guaranteed entry. Download Prize Picks today. Take advantage of the promotions. Have some fun while you're watching your favorite sports. Prize Picks. Run your game.
This sport is sponsored by the Temecula Valley Balloon and Wine Music Festival. Padres out in the desert taking on the Diamondbacks tonight with Stephen Kolek on the mound. Ryan Nelson will be going for the Diamondbacks. That game is at 6:40 and is on Apple TV Plus. And in the NBA Finals tonight, Game 4, Pacers looking to go up 3-1 in the series. It is currently a 6.5 favorite for Oklahoma City. That game gets going at 5:30. Temecula Valley Balloon and Wine Music Festival is happening June 20th through 22nd, featuring Walker Hayes, Cody Jinks, Alabama, and more. Tickets are available now at TemeculaValleyFestival.com, powering the best events from start to finish. Events.com.
San Diego Sports 760. It's our favorite time of the week every week. As Steve Hartman calls into the show. Steve, how we doing today, pal?
Fletch, Sammy, I'm just enjoying watching the U.S. Open and these guys just eating it right now. Fletch, you and I play golf. Of course, you're near professional level right now.
Wow.
Watching the greatest golfers in the world just struggling on this. How much would you like to tee off on this course right now at Oakmont?
You would have to pay me a lot of money to go get embarrassed like that, Steve. It doesn't even seem fun. It really doesn't. Like these guys who were stuck in the rough. Sports are supposed to be fun, right? And nobody on TV right now is having any sort of fun outside of what's his name, Victor Perez, who hit an ace on one of the par threes. He's like, thank God this course gave me something. It looks miserable out there.
Yesterday Scheffler after his round said, "There's no strategy on this course."
No.
He goes, basically what you're trying to do is pull out a club off the tee that will keep it in the fairway. That's your strategy. You do not want to be in the fairway. It's crazy, but just watching these guys, I mean, this is how the U.S. Open used to be, should be. It should be the toughest test in golf. You shouldn't see double digit under par at a U.S. Open. So we'll see how this plays over the weekend. But man, this has been brutal for these guys.
Yeah, the only part that's kind of cruddy is the leaderboard because Rory's fallen off. He's not going to make the cut. Scotty is like on the cut line. He's at 4 over. And I don't know if you saw, Steve, but probably 30, 40 minutes ago now at this point, Scotty's screaming at his trainers on the practice range afterwards.
I watched
screaming at him.
I'll tell you though, two guys that are under par that, both are, Sam Burns is one of those guys that's been sort of, hinting around majors. And Victor Hovland, arguably is the best golfer who hasn't won a major after Xander won last year. So, Hovland would be a very worthy champion if he can survive this course.
Steve, what do you make of Rory's fall off after the Masters?
Well, I think that it's understandable. I mean, as he said after winning the Masters, he checked the final box. Like this was the one thing that was driving him. I mean, think about he came into this U.S. Open with back-to-back outright seconds at the U.S. Open. He's been in top 10. He's been kicking around these majors for several years. I think there was just a general, exhale after finally winning that Masters. We know he partied afterwards. Shane Lowry was his party buddy. Look at Shane Lowry. What is he, plus 12 in this tournament?
He's also plus 150
pounds. What happens at the Open Champion? My guess is both those guys are going to come back in sorts at the Open Championship next month.
Yeah, I would think that's right. Now, Steve, when you and I golf, like we really focus on a couple things. You and I are both big amenity guys. Like we like to have nice towels after the round handed to us by the professionals. And you and I played out at Madeiras, which was awesome. But we also are very picky about the hot dogs at the turns. And I'm telling you, Steve, the one at Madeiras is top 5 all time that I've ever had. You and I might need to take a road trip and we'll bring Sammy along all the way up to Sacramento because I played this course called Yocha Deche, which is a casino course up in Sacramento area, probably like 45 minutes outside of the city. And they had a hot dog bar for you at the turn where you could pick chilies or cheese or whatever you wanted to throw on top of your dog. And they had a guy in a suit who was serving them up. And this was the best hot dog I've ever had in my life.
What I think about hot dogs, and Fletch knows this, Sammy, when they had chili in the press box at Petco,
oh yeah,
I mean, that was it for me. I mean, that was like my standard. And after COVID, of course, they had taken away the chili for quite a while. And then my last year down there in 2022, they were just bringing it back. And I was like, and then I'm gone. Look, I am really torn between two types of hot dogs. One is a classic chili dog, and it doesn't need a lot. I mean, it's dog, and it's that perfect chili, right? I don't need a lot of extras, maybe a few onions, but that's it. Or a Chicago-style dog. I mean, Chicago-style dog to me is still the absolute classic with the bun, the pepper, the pickle, and again, this is an argument for the ages. It really is a no argument. Nothing but mustard on a dog. There's no ketchup on a dog. There's no any
totally
other.
Agree.
It's mustard on a dog. Now, if you want regular mustard, that's fine. You want hot mustard, that's fine. Do not put ketchup on a hot dog.
Ketchup
Period.
and mayo, no mustard. That's the way to go. All right, Steve, we got to get off of hot dogs.
None of that.
Steve, we got to get off hot dogs.
You don't do that.
I do ketchup and mayonnaise on my hot dogs. Yes, I do.
No, you do. That is sick. Honestly, mayo. What are you doing?
That is disgusting.
No. By the way, if you were to even hint of ketchup on a Chicago-style dog, you would literally be thrown out of the state.
I know this.
That's how bad.
My brother-in-law's from Chicago. He hates it when we have hot dogs at our house because we put ketchup and mayo on our hot dogs.
That's disgusting.
That is the Fletcher way to eat a hot dog, and it's the right way. All right, Steve, you have no way of possibly knowing this, and this is not your fault. Today is Sammy's 23rd birthday. So instead of doing the, oh, happy birthday, Sammy, we love you so much. Oh, my God. I want to know what Steve Hartman was doing when he was 23 years old. That we can air. All right, Steve, very careful about that one. I don't know if this was Raiders time yet. I don't know what substances were going on yet, but 23-year-old Steve Hartman, what was going on?
All right. I know exactly where I was on my 23rd birthday because that was the summer that I graduated from UCLA. What happened was I went through the June ceremony, right? But technically I was 2 classes short of graduating. So my buddy and I went on a 35-day cross-country trip. It was crazy. He had a brand new 81 Celica. It's 1981. We went cross-country. We literally took a map of the United States and mapped it out for 35 days and literally followed it to the T. So my 23rd birthday, the 4th of July in 1981, was on that road trip. And if I'm not mistaken, it was in the city of Denver. So it was early on in the trip. But, 23 was a phenomenal year for me. I came back from that trip, took 2 summer school classes, graduated from UCLA, and then I was working as the assistant manager of the famous Village movie theater in Westwood, like the oldest movie theater in Westwood. I was a matinee assistant. I got fired because I embezzled money. I did steal money. They didn't catch me for the full amount that I stole. But no, here's the story. Here's the story, guys. Let me ask you what you would do this. Sammy, you're 23, all right? So I'm 23 years old. I'm on my own. I'm not living with my parents. I'm on my own. I was on my own when I was 20. So, I'm on my own. I'm struggling to make ends meet, making a little money at this movie theater. And we had a very busy day. I'm the assistant manager, right? And all of a sudden it got really busy. So I told the door guy to get behind the counter to help serve, the popcorn and everything. So I started carrying tickets. These are old paper tickets. It was $5 to get in those days. And I suddenly realized half the tickets don't have any stamp on the back of them. So I realized what's going on. So the guy that was selling tickets in the outside booth, I walked in, I said, I've got 2 choices right now. I could turn you in because I know you're selling blank tickets and pocketing money, or we can split the profits. So what we did was I told him we had a big movie premiere. I don't remember the movie, but a movie premiere where I was like the sole management person. I told everybody I'm going to handle the door. Nobody knew except the ticket I. And I said, use your discretion. By the end of the night, he cashed out, and you have a number of how much money should be in the bank. And then I added the cash that was in the bank. We were $1,800 over.
Jeez.
Oh.
So we split at $900 each. And think about this. My rent in those days was $180 a month.
You're set for a year.
$900 to me was literally the equivalent of 5 months rent in one night.
Well, we got what we asked for.
Happened,
Steve at 23, embezzling money.
Yes, I think statute of limitations is out.
Hopefully.
And no witnesses on this. But anyway, I ended up getting fired about a month later for something totally unrelated. And I realized that was it. And that's when I called my mentor, Bud Ferrillo, and started working in radio as a behind-the-scenes guy at age 23.
The Chinese theater is the one that just has the one, it's like one screen, right? But it's like 1,800, it's like 1,000 seats.
Yeah, that's the Chinese theater. This is the Westwood Village movie theater.
Okay.
Yeah, which is temporarily shut down right now. It just got bought out. This is in Westwood Village, the Village movie theater. It's a very famous one with the tower and everything else. It's been used in movies forever. So, it was once upon a time in Hollywood. the movie, the Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
They had the movie theater right there. It was in the movie.
I think that's where Tarantino really zooms in on Margot Robbie's feet in that movie theater. All right, Steve.
Yeah, so that was at the Bruin Theater, which is across the street where she actually watched the movie. Good stuff. Good
Steve?
stuff, guys. So 23, Sammy, is a great age. I know it's hard for Fletch to remember when he was 23, but it's a great age for you, Sammy.
He can't wait for it. He's going to Vegas tonight. The number is set at 3.5 ladies' phone numbers.
I would never. My perfect pick to have someone send me out to Vegas would be Uncle Steve. So the story, we're getting texts right now. People are like, "Who knew that Steve's birthday would turn into an embezzlement story?"
Seriously,
it's one of the greatest stories I've ever heard.
I feel like we do kind of have. Do you have any thoughts on the NBA Finals before we get out of here, Steve?
Well, since I've been telling you OKC was like going to blow them out in 4 straight, obviously I don't know anything about these. I tell you what, Rick Carlisle is just schooling Dagnall in these finals. He's so badly out coaching them. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, think about this. Oklahoma City was 10.5 point favorites each of the first 2 games. They were 5.5 point favorites in game 3 on the road. They're favorite tonight. And, the way Indiana's just playing harder. They're playing smarter. They're better coached. So if Oklahoma City actually loses these NBA finals to an Indiana Pacers team that is a collection of rejects from other teams, this will be one of the most embarrassing NBA finals coaching performances of all time. If I were OKC, with all the talent they have and the draft picks coming up, I would fire this guy and hire a real coach to lead this team into the future.
You make Steve wrong on one prediction, you're fired. That's what's going on. Hey, Steve, appreciate the hell out of you, man. I was going to ask you about all the strip clubs in Vegas for Sammy to go to on his birthday weekend, but we ran out of time. What a bummer.
I know every one of them. Text me. I will tell you all of them. And and you'll have to tell me what you prefer in your stripper. That's because some of them it's like you order them. It's like a menu. So
all right, Steve, we got to go. Steve, we got to go. Sammy's mom is listening. She's going to have a heart attack. We'll talk to you later, Steve.
All right. Hey, Angie, if you're listening, love you.
Steve Hartman, truly one of the greatest to ever do it. And he's still doing it, man. You hear him every Friday right here with us. And he's talking to Sammy right now. I'm sure he's giving him all the advice he needs to know. We'll be back. We will actually read a text that, yes, Sammy's mother has texted into the show today. And then we're going to get you ready for the weekend, get you ready for John and Jim. That's next. It's San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. I'm still reeling over that Hartman interview. Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is back. Live performances by Bryan Adams, Ed Sheeran, Mariah Carey, Maroon 5, Sammy Hagar, and more. September 19th and 20th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. 2 nights, 1 stage. Buy tickets at AXS.com. Get them now before they sell out. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. We just got a few minutes left in the show today. And we got a very special text from the 425, strange area code there. Hey, Fletch and Sammy. Sammy's mom here. Late to the roast, but wanted to contribute for the birthday dude. Sammy is kind and thoughtful and generous in spirit. But if you are sick and you cough on him, he will cut you.
Mom.
Happy birthday, Sammy.
The best. Yes, that is a very true statement. I do not like people coughing on me. I think if you are sick and you don't tell me about it, it's very frustrating because now you're going to give it to me.
Feel however you want about Sammy Long. His mom, Sammy Long, his mother is an absolute saint. We got to go watch a movie with your mom. Your mom was at my wedding, actually.
Yeah, both my parents were at your wedding and I wasn't.
Yeah, that's a good point. Speaking of, we actually got a caller on the line to close this thing out. Who are we talking to, Sammy?
I thought we have an unknown caller that wanted to call in.
Oh, well, here he is. Caller, who are we talking to?
Well, in a weird way, I feel like I birthed you both. So, in a radio sense, imagine my surprise all these years later, and you two end up on the air together.
Brian Long,
outdone.
My former boss, Sammy's papa. Hi, Brian. Be Long. What's going on?
You know, it's just happening. Here's how the day went. I was keeping a score at home. Rich, who could actually finally get a sentence out instead of, okay, I got a story for you. Travis, who I saved from being the whipping boy from Carl DeMaio for years, to Fletcher, who was really brought to me on a platter from a guy, Mark Willard, who at the entire time was like, I think he'll do what I need him to do. I think he'll be okay. So to see you guys become what you've become is really exciting. And I just wanted to say the statement by his mom is true. Sammy's the nicest guy you'll ever meet in the world, unless you got a sniffle. Then he absolutely will treat you like a plague and discriminate.
And who do I get that from?
Well, you come by that honestly. I won't lie to you. Yeah, I don't like sick people either.
I do remember testing positive for COVID one time and Brian Long telling me to stay the F away from this building for as long as possible.
I think you had the longest COVID time away of anyone. He was like, no, seriously, I think I'm okay. I'm like, test again. I
could not test negative. It was ridiculous. B-Long, do you have any Sammy stories you want to share with everybody?
Well, I was laughing at the whole thing about Sammy who needs, you're pontificating about needing people to tell you when you were sick. I got one story for you. When Sammy was like a little kid, I was like, are you feeling all right? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, listen, if you're not feeling good, just tell me and I'll get you the bath. So he looks at me and he had this way of going, no, I'm fine. He'd get in the back seat of the car. You'd look in the rearview mirror and it would go everywhere. So, Sammy, this is life, imitating art now. You're now living this through everybody else.
Now, B-Long, not to put you in a little bit of a precarious situation here, but if you happen to listen to that Steve Hartman interview.
Oh my God. Listen, I especially with all the federal agents and people rolling around Southern California right now, I'm not so sure that I would be talking about embezzlement. The statute of limitations are probably out. Can you imagine Hartman? I got to say this. Can you imagine being in a cell with Steve Hartman? Our worst criminals in the world, put him in a cell with Steve Hartman and let him talk.
Between you and me, Brian, I don't know that there's a human being alive who's listened to more Steve Hartman, maybe Sammy, but was that not the best Steve has been in like 10 years?
He's unreal. He was literally on his A game. The fact that he blows over the moment. So he'll talk for hours about the hot dog and the stuff. And you're like, boring. Oh my God. And then I was embezzling money. You're like, okay, Steve, hold on, back up. I'm not sure we should be putting that out there for the people.
Steve Hartman, the one and only. Yes, that story is phenomenal. I can't believe. Yeah, he didn't look up the statute of limitations, so we have no idea if Steve's getting arrested right now on his couch watching the U.S. Open.
Believe me, when they put him in the back of the cop car, they will turn around the block and let him back out. Just go back out. You're fine.
B-Long, appreciate the hell out of you. Yes, you did birth both me and Sammy, and now you're finding your own way up in LA. I keep hearing your name pop up. Mostly from Steve.
Every now and again, right? Every now and again.
All right.
Anyway, boys, I just wanted to say happy birthday, Sammy. Enjoy Vegas. Fletch, you're doing a hell of a job, and love you listening to you too. So keep it up.
Thank you, B-Long. All right.
Love you, brother.
Brian Long. Man, I haven't heard that voice in a while. Good to hear from him. It is San Diego Sports 760. We are sending Sammy Long out to Las Vegas in the best way possible. Sammy, we did have a texter asking for the long shots recap. Do you have that pulled up?
Let me get it real quick. I know it was Sergei Bobrovsky.
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 But yeah, you said Bobrovsky, but like Boborovsky. Sergei.
Bubba O'Reilly.
Now I can't say that. Okay. Sergei Bobrovsky, goalie for the Florida Panthers. We're going Red Demon, more than 29.5 Red Demon saves. And in the game tonight, Benedict Mathurin, more than 10.5 points. He had 27 in the last game. And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, more than 33.5. I think Shea puts on a clinic tonight.
I like it. All right, NBA Finals Game 4 coming up tonight. Indy with a 2-1 lead. Padres starting a series with the D-Backs today in Arizona. John and Jim are coming up next. Happy birthday, Sammy Long. I really do love you, pal. Have fun in Vegas, and you're going to smash that over. It's going to be 4.5.
Love you, brother.
I promise it.
Thank you for everyone tuning in.
All right, we'll see y'all on Monday. John and Jim coming up next.